Yeah. Yeah, definitely a good ending to the day for sure on our end. Being able to inch them out there at the line. But the start of the day, all the drivers on pit road pushing Bubba's car and showing their support. It was just an honor to be a part of that. Not only the drivers too, but the crew members and the fans that were in attendance as well. NASCAR. That's something that I think everyone will remember for a long time, and it showed how much we support not only Daryl. That was the main reason we were doing it, just to support Daryl, but everybody that's been impressed not only the past few weeks but for a long time. And what happened yesterday was disgusting, and I don't understand how a person or people can have that hatred in their heart for someone who just looks different than they do. It's never something I'll understand. And it almost brought me to tears when Bubba told me yesterday what happened. And, he doesn't deserve that. No one deserves that. And, but I think the good thing is what we, us as a community came together, showed our support, and I know he really appreciated it. And it was the least we can do to show that we're behind him 100%. I'm always going to be behind him 100%. I have been for 15 years, and I hope to make it, 50 more, being behind him all the way and supporting him every step along the way. So that was definitely a special moment to be a part of before the race.
Thank you, Ryan. We'll now open it up for questions. I see a number of hands raised already, and we'll kick it off with Ashley Strong. Go ahead, Ashley.
Hey, Ryan, congrats on the my question. I wanted to ask, you've kind of made the tradition of giving the flag away at the end of the races. You were able to do that today with a few fans in the stands, but since you've had so many races without the fans because of COVID, was today's maybe a little bit more special to go there and give it to a little kid that's at the race?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, definitely. That's been something I've been wanting to do, or I've been doing for the past, 3 or 4 years, whenever we win a race. And, it was definitely nice. We had people in the stands that, they stuck around, after it rained and things like that. And we got really lucky. The weather cleared up for sure to run the whole race. But they were excited, man. It was so great to just have fans back and the atmosphere of them cheering back, before and after the race. That's just, we love that stuff. We drivers, we love support, and we love putting on good shows. And just to see, even though it's 5,000 people, it was really cool to just get that cheering again and see everyone having a good time, and that they enjoyed the race. So I was lucky, the little boy and his father were really close, and figured what a better welcome back present for fans to come to NASCAR races and do that for that kid.
Perfect. Thank you.
Next, we will go to Jeff Cluck. Go ahead, Jeff.
Ryan, you seemed subdued after your win. What was the main reason for the lack of, wild celebration?
I've never been too wild of a celebration guy. It was definitely exciting. I was thinking, of what I could have done better. And the 29 kind of made contact there. We kind of banged doors, and didn't really mean to go up there and bang his door. I just tried to get close to him and slow him down. I don't know if there was someone kind of still pushing him or what. And I saw him hit the wall hard, so I was a little concerned on that. If he was okay. Definitely wasn't my intention to hit him. I thought we were just going to kind of get close. And we just kind of met in the middle of the racetrack. But no, there's just a lot of stuff going through your head, from what, how the race ended. We were fortunate to be the winner. And then what happened the last couple of days, I was just thinking about that too. And, with Bubba coming up beside me after the race, that meant a lot to show his support. And it was cool to see him after I got done with the start finish line deal. So, just a lot going through your head, man. Just, it's a good day, and I'm really happy we were able to win the race. And, but yeah, I was just, thinking about some stuff, that, with Daryl and things like that, and then how the race ended. So, that was kind of, I guess, the reason. But
thank you.
Next, we'll go to Jim Otter. Go ahead, Jim.
Yeah, Ryan, a couple questions. First, how does it feel? You have come excruciatingly close, so in the early part of the season, and been on the verge of and in position to win many times, and just to be able to kind of seal the deal on probably a track that it is probably the hardest to do that on.
Yeah, you're right. I was talking about that on Fox a little bit ago. Was the past, especially the whole year, really, but the past month and a half's been really good for us. We've had some really good runs, and we've had really fast cars and had a chance to win. I feel like every race the last month and a half just hasn't really fallen our way, and we just haven't been in the right place, right time, or just not been quite fast enough. And like you said, it's coming here, you just don't really know your outcome. You don't really know how things are going to be. It's hard to, you can't work on your car really too much and get better throughout the race. You can, you can change a little bit and get better, but you don't control your destiny a whole lot, other than other racetracks. So yeah, it is a little funny. We've been knocking on the door here all year, and it just happened to be here. But we just kept ourselves in contention all day. Todd did a great job. With strategy calls all day, and it was really good. We worked with our teammates, me, Brad, Joey, and Matt all day. We worked great together. We couldn't find each other at the end. That's usually how that goes. But yeah, it's just nice to finally break through and get the first one of the year. And hopefully this opens the floodgates here, and we can get on a roll. So this team's been awesome. They've been so much fun to work with all year.
You touched on my second question. Can you describe a little bit what the Penske plan was coming in? You guys did seem to have, for most of the race, were able to work around each other, except at the end you seem to get separated a little bit.
Yeah, just stay disciplined to each other. You can plan all you want, but sometimes things just don't work out. But for a lot of the race today, we had all four cars, all three of our cars in the 21 right together. And I thought we were really strong pulling the bottom lane. The top could kind of run up towards us, but then we would start pushing again really hard, and be able to surge back out in front. So I think we do that really well, with the Penske cars and Di Benedetto. We're really disciplined to each other. The reason we got broke up at the end, everyone kind of had different pit strategies and just restarts didn't work out, and we just can never really find each other. But yeah, I just think we're really good at just having each other's backs, and that's something we definitely take a lot of pride in, and it seems to work out a lot of these places. So
thank you.
Next up, we'll go with Joseph Goodman. Go ahead, Joe.
I'm going to mute here. Yeah, congratulations. And I wanted you to kind of explain your relationship with Bubba. You mentioned that you've been longtime friends with him for 15 years. What does that go back to, and talk about your friendship?
We started racing together in these things called Bandoleros around the Charlotte area, Concord, Nashville area. We were both the same age. So, when you're a young kid, when you're 10 years old, and there's another kid your age that you're racing against, and you get along well, just naturally become your friend. And it's been a fun journey, us racing together a lot throughout the years. And then we didn't race against each other kind of in our late teens or early teens, because we went a different route of late model racing. Then we got back together in like K&N and trucks and Xfinity and Cup. And it's so cool. I look back at, where he and I started, and now we're both at the Cup level, driving for great owners. Get to compete against each other every single week, just like we used to when we were kids. That's really hard to do. The odds of that happening are very low, that both of us are able to make it to the Sunday level. But no, it's just somebody that I've gotten along with. He and I would be great friends even if we weren't racing together. We just have a lot in common and get along really well. It's someone you can talk to, just a good friend that you've known for a long time that will always have your back, whether it's me having his back or him having mine.
What's up, man?
That's just something that thanks, buddy. Thank you. Kozlowski just walked in. But it's just, someone I've known for a long time and been really fortunate to get to know over the years and race against. And, like I said, I support him 100%. I'm always going to be behind him. And, if you run afoul of Bubba, you run afoul of me. But just a great person and a great family he comes from, that makes him, who he is today.
And follow-up question to that. NASCAR has kind of found itself at a crossroads here this weekend. How do you want this weekend to be remembered for the sport?
I want this weekend to be remembered by I don't know, I guess a good word would be unity, everyone coming together and showing support. I hate focusing on the bad things because that's what gets a rise out of people. But I feel like, what everyone has said the last day has really shown, that it's not going to be tolerable anymore. And we're all going to stand behind the people who are, mistreated. And that just shows what a family we are. We're competitors all on the racetrack, but at the end of the day, we're one big traveling family. And we're going to support anybody who, we compete with. And if they ever, get threatened in a way, we're going to have their back. And I just want everyone to we're all in this together, and we support everybody. I thought it was a really great thing we did, or that happened at the beginning of the race, and I hope people remember that and show that it shows that we're all one big family, and we're going to support each other no matter what.
Next up, we'll take a question from Alan Cavana. Go ahead, Alan.
Hey, Ryan, I wanted to follow up on exactly that. Everyone will remember this scene, probably forever. So what did that mean to be a part of it? And just, you had a different view of it, obviously. Is there anything you remember specifically, one thing or one person you saw that you'll just take away from that moment?
I mean, I just think, looking around and, whether it was walking up to the front of the grid or standing there, everyone who was in support of it. I mean, like I said, it wasn't only drivers, it was crew members, it was fans, it was NASCAR, it was everybody. So that moment just shows how much everybody supports each other. We may not like each other all the time. We might take each other off on the racetrack from time to time, but at the end of the day, we're going to support each other. And so I think, what really got me was, we got Bubba's car to the front there, and he had to take a little bit to pause and compose himself, because it was a very emotional moment for him. And I think it was emotional for him because it was just everyone's support of him, and it's just something different that I have just not been. I couldn't personally be a part of because I've never been in Bubba's position, but I'm going to support him the best I can. But just the emotion that he showed, and he was really thankful to just see everyone's support. That got me a little bit. And then just everyone, going up to him after the anthem or before the anthem was special. I just think the whole day, it's hard to pick out one certain moment, but I just think everybody coming together was very special.
Thank you very much.
Next up, we'll go to Jordan Bianchi. Go ahead, Jordan.
Ryan, question. In the last three super speedway races, you've been involved in last lap, finishes for the win. What have you been able to take away from the last two that you were able to apply to tonight? Mistakes you learned from, or things that you could be better at?
Yeah, you're always learning, right? This package was a little bit different than the one we had in Daytona or last year even. Your mind, especially these places, is just a big notebook. You're just constantly remembering things about, I should have done this here, I should have done this here, or maybe, okay, this worked pretty decent. You're always kind of remembering that, but like I said, everything happens so fast. You have to make a decision in a split second, and if you wait a split second too long, it's too late. And that's just you just have to kind of go with your gut, and sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. I mean, I've been on the wrong end of it to where it doesn't work out. Exactly like Daytona. It was just the wrong move I made that put us in a particularly weird spot, and that happened. So you learn from those things and learn to maybe not put yourself in those positions again. But it's easy to plan those things out and think of them ahead of time, but it's sometimes hard to react to them. But no, I just think our speedway program is fast, man. We have fast cars, and just good to be, with good teammates that'll help you go. And a lot of it's just what line goes, what line moves, and if you have a fast enough car, you can kind of make a line move. So that was something we had today. But yeah, just experience, and honestly, some of it is just things working out for you. I mean, the 3 speedway races before we won Talladega last year, we got involved in just someone else's mess. That's just part of it. It's just part experience, and learning, understanding, and then right brakes, and then getting a little bit of luck at the end to just make it to the end of these things.
Thanks.
Next up, we'll take our final question. We see Todd Gorton get in the hot seat. Take the final question from Bob Pockers. Go ahead, Bob.
Yeah, Ryan, how would you describe yours and Bubba's emotions in the sense last night? Was it more sadness, more disbelief, or more anger?
Just me personally. So when I heard of it, Daryl told me. We were sitting in my bus when he told me after he talked to NASCAR, and he was obviously really emotional and hurt, and really hurt by it. And I just didn't know what to say. I couldn't find the words to describe how I felt, because I felt a mixture of anger and sadness for him, confused how anybody could do something like this. I just felt all these different emotions, and I know that he went through a big range, but it was pretty, and you hate to see your buddies or anybody you love, be sad or and be hurting. So it's just, I tried to support him the best I could, and gave him a big hug before he left, and then he wanted to collect his thoughts and things like that. But I think it was just a multiple range of emotions. Last night I was really angry. I couldn't fall asleep. So it's just something that's difficult to try to describe, but there was a lot of emotions that went into it in multiple stages of the night.
And could you kind of compare, or at the start of the day, there was a lot of talk, wow, this is one of the worst days in NASCAR history. And now the feeling you have now, as far as not the fact that you won, but the sense that there's been this shift from this anger and sadness to some sort of pride and hope.
I think that's how you got to handle those situations, right? I mean, you can't let some idiots, trying to threaten somebody. You can't let that affect you. And I think, it shows how strong Bubba is to be able to, okay, you're hurt and really saddened by it, and I'm sure he's still hurt by it, but to come together, all of us, and then be strong. I thought that's how you got to deal with that stuff. If you let it really eat away at you, that person wins. That those people win. So I think it's great that everyone rose up, Bubba included, and really came together. So I think I don't want it to be remembered as a terrible day or a bad day in NASCAR. I want it to be remembered as there was an incident and we all overcame it together, and showed that we're not going to take it anymore, man. I'm getting sick of this shit, and it's not something that he should deal with. And just kind of all I got to say about that.
Thank you.
All right. Ryan, well said. Thank you for your time, and congratulations on the big win. Enjoy the week, and we'll see you at the doubleheader in Pocono.